big.
I don't believe it. That's Clone Force 99.
This is Wrecker, Hunter, Echo, Tech, and Crosshair.
Oh, I don't have a cool send-off. This is embarrassing.
Obviously, we are different.
We're all you're getting.
Ha! We're all you need!
They call themselves the Dad Batch.
Experimental Unit Clone Force 99. The defective clones with desirable mutations.
This is one meeting I don't want to miss.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Dad Batch Podcast, episode 118. Welcome to the live show. You did it. You made it. You're here. Whether you're streaming on YouTube or watching us live on Instagram, we want to see you again. So be sure to subscribe to our channel. Hit subscribe, ring the bell to get notified, do all that stuff. That way you get notified when we post new content. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to use that super chat button right over here, and we will read your comment live on the show. John might even do it in an Argentinian accent if you're lucky.
You dare. Argentinian Keanu Reeves.
My name is Stevie Kicks, and I am one of your 5 hosts today. And of course, with us, as always, the other Dad Batchers, your space daddies. First up, what would Sithmas be without the Dark Lord himself? Or Lord of the Dark, however you want to look at it. It's Sithin' Ain't Easy. Brian Cook, how are you, man?
It's Sithmas. Mayor Sithmas.
I see you're not in a car. You're at home.
I'm
Welcome
here.
home. Welcome home.
at
In
my
the dark
house.
still, though.
Yeah.
For some reason.
I mean, I can turn my light up, but no one wants to see that.
How you doing, man?
I'm good.
Good. Good to be
Busy.
home.
Good to be home, but I'm still very busy.
Right on. Well, thanks for making it, dude.
Yeah.
Next up, after many moments of hesitation, uncertainty, even doubt, Alpha Ignition is no more. Long live John Rodriguez.
Yeah, can you actually change it on my I think I left it on my little name thing.
no.
Yeah, we
It was
got
the
to
mustache guy. But
No,
we gotta
because
update your thing.
we're leaving it all at Alpha Ignition for the 90-day cooling off period because I don't know with you.
Wow. Wow.
Shots fired.
John Rodriguez, this is FX _.
.org. Yeah.
What's up, man? How are you?
Hanging.
I've-
Chilling.
Chilling. All right. How's the name change been so far?
Good.
Yeah.
I had to put my face back because people didn't know it was me anymore.
Yeah,
Since everything changed. Yeah. So I just posted the logos that Luke so kindly and beautifully did for me.
Wow. Oh, shucks.
Thank you.
Good.
But yeah, so I just put my face back on there. But yeah, I just changed it. I've been obviously, if you follow the show at all, you know that I've been wanting to change it to something that's my name for a long time. So
Yeah.
It just made sense, I guess, for now, until I can get my actual name.
Yeah, this is it's very professional. I like it. Very mindful, very demure.
It's funny though. Jackson Rupert hit me up. So Jackson Rupert, the painter, he's like this painter I really admire. He's amazing, and his initials are the same as mine, JR. So he has a shirt that says JRFX. He's like, I've already got the merch, and I was like, oh, dude. It's kind of funny, but I'm not doing JRFX. It's just my name and FX. It's just for the Instagram. I'm not like branding. It's not it's just I want my name to be associated with my artwork.
For now, man, 2025 is
We'll
your
see.
year. Oh.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, well, we said that about 2024 too. So.
2026,
2023,
2027. It's right around the corner.
Oh.
All right, on, dude. Well, thanks for being here. Back from the auction block, it's the commanding officer of the 501st Legion, Southern California Garrison, Ramey Shanaday. What's up, man?
Hey, you had me confused with the auction block thing, but I caught up. I'm still recovering from all of that.
Did you get any sleep from last week? My goodness, man.
Yes. Yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot. That was a busy week.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that very shortly, but it's good to have you back, man. You were definitely missed last week. We even had like a shorter pod. It's funny because any time that we have less than 5 of us here, the pod automatically gets like condensed to like minus 25 minutes.
No news.
Yeah. And finally, you know him as the internet's left coast Avenger. We know him as Dadpool. It's Luke Yates. How are you, buddy?
What's up, boys? What's good?
Everything good in the Yates household?
Oh yeah, I am broadcasting live from my wife's office today.
Oh,
huh? And yeah, she's got a work dinner tonight, so I've got the boys out in the front living room kind of zone, finishing up dinner, and yeah, trying to do this. Oh, I hear screams.
Come.
I love it. I love it.
You know what I'm talking about, Stevie.
On dad duty. I'm in the same position right now. Wife's working late, and I'm home with the boys.
That's right. The balance.
Guys, the first thing I want to talk about right off the bat here is we are coming hot off the trails of the Ornament Project. I mean, that was insane. We were all on there live. We were doing the live bidding, live show. It was right after the stream, I went downstairs to eat dinner, and I immediately like knocked out right after, and I took a nap for like 2 hours, and my wife was like, what happened to you? And I was like, I think it was all the adrenaline from the thing, because like my heart was pumping for like the 2 hours that were there. But man, congratulations guys on all your ornaments.
Yeah,
I think we all did a lot better than we thought we would.
It's really cool.
Oh my gosh, yeah, dude, Mike killed it. You guys killed the production. I watched a little bit of the YouTube. Tried to log in, no one let me in. It's okay though. Just saying.
It's fair. You were probably driving.
I was driving. I was in the dark again, which is why I figured. I was like, they're probably like, he's in the dark. Forget that, dude.
We had a lot going on. It was hard to keep track of. Like,
there was a lot going on, but
yeah,
man, Mike was just like
Billy Mays.
It just going crazy with his hands. He was like an auctioneer. It was awesome.
The micro machine. I mean,
the amount of money that was raised for Starlight was absolutely incredible. So it matched the incredibleness of the work provided. Mostly talking about myself, but I'm just kidding. It was awesome. Those ornaments were killer. So
you're not kidding.
Kudos.
We should give a shout out. We should give a huge shout out to Ramey for all the behind the scenes work that he did. Because I mean, like,
He didn't make an ornament, but
well, he made 80 ornaments basically. He at least
I mean,
posted 80 of them.
we have
But,
to say the joke. We have to say it.
Yeah, between all the pre-work that you did, Raimi, with helping everything get set up for Ornament Project, all the back end logistics, getting all those models sent out to everybody, and then not to mention the hosting of the streams, because you're live on there with Mike, and then you're controlling the pod windows and all that stuff, and you've got the live screens going on, and then the live auction going on. That's a lot of stuff, dude. So kudos to you, man. Good job.
Yeah.
How much did you end up raising?
I was looking while we were talking about it. So I'm looking at the dashboard in Better World, the system that we use to do the auctioning and the giveaways and everything like that. So that total, so this is not including the coins that Zach did. This is saying $28,652. And then I know that there was at least another $1,500 or more for those coins. So that's how we know it was over $30,000.
Wow.
Dang.
Unreal, man.
That's amazing.
And that's just for now, because what you had emailed, I was one of the winners for one of the ornaments, and I got an email from you like a couple days later.
Yep.
Saying check with my employer, which I did, and they do,
That's
because
right.
my employer matches anything like the donation.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, and that actually, shout out to a couple of our winners, because they had messaged me saying, hey, by the way, and they even like sent like screenshots of their like systems at work. Anybody that won or that any donation that you make, check with your employers, because many employers around the world will do employee donation matching. So if you as an employee make a charitable donation to any charity, you show that receipt for that to your employer, and they will match that donation, essentially doubling it. So, yeah, and I don't know how that will show up for us, but ultimately, I mean, it doesn't even matter whether we get credit for it or not. Like, Starlight gets the money, which is what really matters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, totally. That's a really good tip though, to check into that. Like, yeah, a lot of employers do that. So good call.
yeah.
I have a little video file that Raimi made here. I want to play it. Give me a second.
Ooh, sizzle reel?
Yeah, baby.
Man, I love that. Chrome Tono returning in 2025. Did you make that, Remy, or did you get Jason to do that? Because it looks like a Jason thing.
Jason did the sound design for that, actually.
Okay.
I did the music editing, and Brian Kim did this sound. I did like the music, like the editing, and put it together. But Jason did the sound design, so like the swooshes and stuff like that. Jason did.
Sick.
Mike did the graphics, so but I did all the video stuff. So
Team effort.
yeah, exactly. It takes a village. All of this,
Man. And if you thought Ornament was crazy this year, just wait until next year. Chrome Tono is going to be insane.
Oh man.
But we'll talk about that later on next year. Well, what's been going on, guys? How's everybody's week been? What y'all been up to?
Staying busy
I've been
right before the holiday, work, family stuff, friendsmas stuff. It's busy time.
My forehead has been glued to my computer screen.
Yep.
Except for today, I did a short little drive to do some work, but it's deadline time, baby. Get them orders in before Christmas.
You guys all done with the Christmas shopping and gifts and all that stuff?
Yeah, we keep it pretty light in our household. So
yeah, I think we're set.
I started doing this thing like maybe a few years ago. I just started collecting like random gifts throughout the year.
Nice.
And then like I'll forget about it. And then when I go into the closet to get everything, I'm just like, oh, this is cool. Oh, this is cool. But then, it just kind of it like alleviates a lot of the pocketbook stress at the end of the year,
No, totally. Yeah. Do you ever find yourself having gifts that have gone out of trend per se with like the kids' tastes? Like they were into
totally.
something, and then 6 months down the road they're like, oh, they're not vibing on that anymore.
Yeah. But then you just give that to the cousins or something, or
yeah. Good. Yeah, we all got like that tub of like regift fodder or stuff that you buy like that, and then it just goes to the ether. Gift ether.
I haven't been watching much television. I mean, other than Skeleton Crew, which we'll talk about. Secret Level, the second half of the season of Secret Level came out this week. John, dude, I am loving this show, man. Thank you so much for this recommendation.
Yeah.
The show's awesome.
They just got renewed for a season 2, actually.
Oh, nice.
I read that today, a couple hours ago. And I'll give my 2 cents. Obviously, that first half that they released was very strong. I think almost all the episodes were bangers. Like, they were all hits. And the second half dropped yesterday. And I had a chance to kind of blow through a few of those, and I ended up seeing all of them, and it was not as hard hitting as the first half.
Okay. So last week or whatever week that was that we were doing it for Hunter's Hard Drive, I had the same exact sentiments when it came to the Warhammer episode, which you and Brian were just like gushing over. Okay.
Yeah.
But now that it's been a couple weeks and I've let it set in, it's the most memorable to me of all the episodes.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's and because it's
in a good way.
Yeah. Like really. Like
because other episodes are also memorable, but not in ways that you enjoy. Like I remember the Pac-Man episode specifically because I didn't like it, like for example.
Okay.
It wasn't great, but but it wasn't bad, whatever. But and the second half introduces another set of episodes. I think it's like 7 or 8 episodes. And the one I was looking most forward to was the Mega Man episode, which
so short.
Not only is it so short, it was such a tease. Because when he didn't even become Mega Man yet, it was sorry, spoiler alert.
No, not that. I can totally hear
I'm sure they're gonna do more. Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna do more. They got renewed for season 2, so I'm sure they'll do a third episode or whatever, a second episode to continue the series. But
was that image of Mega Man that we saw in that little kind of teaser thing that we walked through last week? They had that image of Mega Man. Was that in the show or
with the visor? Yeah, it was in the show for the last 3 seconds.
Oh, yeah, okay. It was literally the last shot.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah, and the episode is just an instance of what's happening between him and Dr. Light, and and I won't go into specifics because I don't want to completely destroy it for you, but it's pretty cool. But he doesn't do like it's an origin story essentially, like a brand new
Sure.
origin story. So in those 10 minutes or 15 minutes, they got the point across that what he's gonna be is Mega Man. But
It's like the
and
why he's Mega Man kind of intro. Build his
how it happened, how it
yeah,
started. But you don't get what you want to see. You don't get Mega
yeah,
Man kicking butt. You get him
yeah.
like becoming Mega Man, and it's over. And you're like,
Just yeah. I
so
wonder if season
hopefully
2 will have like continuations of maybe
I'll
what
bet you right
spent
now. Yeah, I don't know about the other episodes, but Mega Man for sure will have another episode in
needs a
season
follow
2.
up. Yeah,
I'll bet anything on that.
nice.
Because it was the beginning. It was
Yeah.
the beginning of Mega Man. It wasn't anything else.
Did many
Um,
other episodes through these 2 blocks of eps like have episodes that felt like they would have a follow up, or were they all pretty singular kind of in their ending?
I don't know necessarily because some of those things are franchises or stories that I'm not
Familiar
uh,
with.
familiar with, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know. But this one that I am very familiar with, Mega Man,
Yeah.
he's got to do stuff because there's no villain yet. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing
They
happened
just
yet.
leave it hanging.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just the beginning, the end.
You know, I'd be okay too if they don't keep it like in a linear story fashion. Just keep them all shorts. Just like
I like that.
like even if they end up doing another Mega Man episode or another D&D episode or Warhammer or whatever, like have it be completely not connected to the season 1 stuff. Have it be a completely new vision of it. Like for instance, who was Mega Man? Who was Dr. Light trying to fight in the Mega Man episode?
Bomb Man.
Bomb Man. Okay.
Mm.
Have season 2 that episode be like the Bomb Man origin story or like something within the
like
universe,
like
but
the Rogue One of
yeah,
the secret level.
Yeah.
I guess.
So
Like a
I don't
super
know,
side
just
story of a side quest.
Or
I
like
really-
jumping around with the time, like jump forward,
yeah.
when he's fully into Mega Man and he's, mid quest.
It's almost like the secret. It's almost like the secret sauce that made Star Wars Visions so good.
Mm-hmm.
Just everything's contained.
Yeah.
Visions. So good.
Yeah. It's awesome.
That show's
Definitely check
great.
it out.
The animation and the sound is crazy. So
What
good.
was your favorite episode, the guys that watched this so far, on the second half of these season?
One second.
I haven't watched it yet.
I only got a few episodes in. There was one.
Oh, okay.
John, what was the one where they were like in a city and it was like 2 teams and they're like, I'm not the bad guy.
Oh, that was the season. That was the first drop.
That was first season.
Was
I
that
just
like
watched that.
It's called Crossfire Good Conflict.
Crossfire is the name of the game?
It must be Crossfire, yeah. Because it says Crossfire colon.
That
Good
was
Conflict.
I love that one because it was it didn't even look like it was CG. It just like after
it looked totally real.
It looked like you're watching 24 or something. Like it just looked like a good. If they can, man, I'm like I have so many thoughts going on right now. But like if they can, the level of animation that they do in that particular episode, if they could just do movies like that from now on, where the uncanny valley of CGI is gone, I am totally down for that.
Dude, there's one episode in this second drop of the first season. It's season 1, episode 11. It's called Exodus Odyssey. I don't know if Exodus is a game. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really really good. It's about this guy. He's a farmer on a planet, whatever. Not making ends meet, whatever. His daughter's like a young teenager. She runs off with a guy, like an adventurer, and goes into space through light speed, whatever. And he basically he's like, I have nothing but her. So he ends up chasing after her. And between like the time dilation and stuff, more time passes for her than it does for him because he goes through a slower way or whatever. It explains it pretty well. And he ends up like meeting up with her and saving her, and it's so good. It's like a father-daughter thing, which Brian, it's a father and child thing, but it's his daughter. You might connect with it well.
That's cool.
I thought it was really awesome. Like the lengths a father will go to save his daughter or his kid in general, I guess.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So check that out if you guys can, or if you want.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah,
I'll get to it.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
You guys ever watch total tangent here? You guys ever watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say, "Do you ever watch Total Recall?" And I was like,
Yeah.
a couple times.
I've never seen an episode of that show until this week. I'm already on season 3. Like
It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's such a vulgar and dark comedy. Like
Yep.
I was like, this is right up my alley. So I've been watching that nonstop. Like I'm at work and I just have it playing on my phone.
it's like the longest running TV show, right? Isn't it?
I
have like
I think so.
an award for like longest running or record. For
Dude, there's so many
live
memes
action.
from this.
Yeah, I
There's
think
so
so.
many memes that I've like posted before that I've used that I had no idea came from this show.
Like the Danny DeVito Book of Boba
And then I was
Fett meme.
blasting.
Yeah. And the
Uh-huh. Anyway, highly recommend any listeners out there.
Yeah,
It's
But,
always sunny.
So yeah, Always Sunny and Secret Level. Those are your 2 recommendations for this week.
nice.
Speaking of recommendations for this week, guys, this is our last episode that we're recording for the year. I won't see you guys. We won't see each other until next year.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
See you next year.
It should be like that.
20.
Yeah. See you in a year.
Dad jokes.
Ow.
Oh man.
Dad jokes.
But we do have something special coming out next week for our listeners. That'll be our little holiday gift for you guys. And then join us again next year. But you'll get all those details later on. Raimi, can we share the news? You know what? No, I'm not gonna queue up that news that we just recently got this week, which the listeners already know what we're talking about. What those listeners who are in our broadcast channel will already know what we're talking about. But I think we'll announce that news next year.
Every
Do I know
time
what
we
you're
do,
talking
every
about?
time we announce stuff, like it jinxes it. So don't.
Yeah. But here, I'll give a little hint. Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. If you'd like to show your support for the show, pick up an exclusive family reunion t-shirt and some Dad Batch stickers at thedadbatch.com.
We're being hailed.
This encryption's new. This might take a while.
Okay, bear with me. News is going to be a little organic because I didn't have time to like put notes together. So our buddy Jude Law got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Star number 2,798 was awarded to Jude Law this past Thursday, December 12th. That's all I got on that one.
Nice.
Not much else to say. I mean, he got a star on the Walk of Fame, so it was last Thursday. So congratulations, Jude Law. Young Jedi Adventures has been nominated for 4 nominations for the Children's and Family Emmy Awards. So the National Academy for Television Arts and Sciences has given them 4 Emmy nominations. Young Jedi Adventures received the nominations in the following categories: voice directing for an animated series, music direction and composition for an animated program, editing for a preschool animated program, and sound mixing and sound editing for a preschool animated program. So it's the 3rd time that the Children's and Family Emmys has occurred, with the upcoming ceremony set to take place on March 15th in LA. So we'll keep track of that, and we'll report back once after that's happened and give everybody an update on the results. I think John, is Amy still as into Young Jedi Adventures as she has been?
Yeah, we kind of went through the first season, and then when the second season came out, we went through the second season, and then since that was kind of it, we kept rotating through other shows. But she has the toys though. She has like the ship, and she has like the Jedi Temple. It's so sick. Like a 5-year-old with these awesome toys. Yeah. So she plays with it, but
this was all over the news. This is one of those ones where it's like I saw it and I'm like, oh, this has got to be like, there's no way. And then like it started getting reported again and again, and I still was like rolling my eyes thinking, no. And then like Variety started reporting it, and the credibility of the outlets reporting it was going up and up and up. And so I guess this is true. Jeremy Allen White has been cast as Rhoda the Hutt.
Stinky
in The Mandalorian and Grogu. This is all I know. I don't know anything more about this. So
Stinky was Jabba's kid, or just a
this was in the original Clone Wars animated film, like the film that was like the premiere,
first thing,
backpack, and it was like the premiere of the show that they had retooled into being the feature film. Was Anakin and Ahsoka rescuing Rhoda the Hutt. Yeah. So
I hope he speaks in like Huttese and not just like, hey, I'm Jeremy.
Yeah, right. Like,
he's gonna speak in Jersey.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's gonna sound just like. So I would assume his voice will be modulated.
Did any of the Hutts from the I can't remember this far back, but from the Clone Wars show, like
there was like Zero the Hutt.
Zero sounded very normal. Yeah.
Well,
wait, and there were Hutts in the Boba Fett show too. Remember?
But they spoke Huttese.
They spoke Huttese, I think, though. I think they were like Kuga, Chuba.
Yeah, they had Zero the Hutt. He sounded like this.
Yeah.
Zero's the only one that we've seen that sounded anything remotely.
He's like part Cartman from South Park, right? Part Truman Capote.
Hey,
yeah, exactly.
Fun fact about Rada the Hutt. So Stinky was his name given to him by Ahsoka. But did you guys know that his dad, Jabba, had a nickname for him?
Uh-oh.
It was legit. His nickname is Padunky Muffin. Muffkin. Padunky Muffkin.
That was the name of my grunge band in high school.
Which translated from Huttese to English is Punky Muffin.
Punky Muffin.
That's the same name that Brian uses for Luke. This is crazy.
Only when we travel together.
Yeah.
Oh, Punky Muffin.
That was said behind closed doors.
It's Punky Muffin Top too, for the record.
Yeah. Goddamn straight it is.
So we will see how this plays out with I mean, presumably Rhoda is older. I have no idea how Hutt's age, so maybe he's a teenager or fully, who knows. So I have a little bit of streaming like ratings information for Skeleton Crew.
Let's hear it.
I'm going to present this as strictly like factual information and not like there's no like editorial in this or anything like that.
Tell us the data.
So here's the data, right? Like, so, and this is from streaming chart provider Luminate, which is the company that's behind like the US Billboard charts. So like the ones that do like the music ratings. So this is not Nielsen. Well, it's legit, but it's not Nielsen legit, right? So take it for what it's worth in that regard. So the Nielsen data is not out yet. And this is so for that being said, like it has not made the top 10 chart yet, which is interesting because and for Luminate, if it's not on the top 10, you actually don't get any data on it. Which is interesting because like for at least for us, like we've all been enjoying the show. And I actually haven't seen anything that was particularly hypercritical about the show either. And obviously, like we know that like Acolyte, for example, like got a lot of critical reviews. And yet we know that at least occasionally it did make it into the top 10. So as an example, what we do know is for in week 2, when episode 3 of Skeleton Crew came out, the top 10 entry on the chart had 288.9 million minutes streamed. Okay. So what we know is Skeleton Crew didn't have that much. Okay. So it was less than that. Week 3 of, I'm getting this mixed up. Week 2 of Acolyte had 380.5 million minutes of streaming.
Wow.
So week 2 of Acolyte actually did outperforms.
But wait a second. That's Acolyte is a much longer show than Skeleton Crew.
Is it?
Yeah.
Define longer.
Like the typical episode for Skeleton Crew is like anywhere between like 22 to 29 minutes. Whereas like I feel like Acolyte was like a 45-minute to an hour long show.
What, like episode 3 was like,
Was it?
episode
Acolyte
3 was
drop 2
long.
episodes? Did Acolyte drop 2 episodes for their premiere week? Or did
That's a good question. I don't remember.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. That seems to be the norm.
It seems like they've been doing that, right?
I also think that a lot of people, because of the holiday season, a lot of people are saving up Skeleton Crew to kind of watch around the like around their days off around the holidays and stuff like that, which is probably playing into it. I think that Skeleton Crew's got better rewatchability compared to Acolyte, just because of like I mean, how many times have we all rewatched Goonies in our lives, right?
Yeah,
like
totally.
I think that this is gonna ultimately, I think this will turn around. So I'm reporting these numbers as just these are the facts, not any kind of editorial on top of it. I do think that ultimately this is gonna turn around. But
yeah, oh yeah. Yeah,
So-
and it just might be folks, saving it or hear enough word from friends and family that it's actually good and then goes and gives it a watch, because there could be a little, fatigue out there too from a lot of these Star Wars shows coming out and being spun off of maybe characters that are really well known from the original material. So sometimes that could create a bit of a lag where you just got to get that word of mouth out there and people go, oh, okay, yeah, I've got time over the holiday, I'm going to check it out.
Yeah,
So.
I talked to some like hardcore casual fans, if that makes sense, but not like us, but they love Star Wars and they watch, and I was like, have you watched it? They're like, no, I was just going to wait and just watch it all over Christmas.
Yeah.
What you just said.
So, because people have a lot of people have time off around the holidays, and like they'll just watch it straight through,
sitting around watching TV.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that for a lot of people around the holidays is like sit and watch Star Wars or Lord of the Rings, or like there's a lot of or Marvel movies, or like there's a lot of folks that do exactly that.
Well, I think it's hard for us because we think it's kind of wild to not just consume the new Star Wars thing the instant it comes out, but a lot of people are so casual with it. The same way I haven't gotten to Secret Level yet, and I keep, like you guys have said, nothing but glowing things, and I trust all of your opinions and usually align with those opinions on a lot of pop culture stuff.
Do not show the boys.
No, that's
you,
not
you can show them the Mega
old.
Man. You can show them the Mega Man episode, but do not show them the other ones.
Yeah. No,
Mega Man is a safe
Just
episode.
show them the Pac-Man one. Just go straight to Pac-Man.
We're still
Oh my God,
we're
yeah.
still on Bluey. So
Just go straight to Pac-Man or Warhammer. You'll be good.
Yeah, for sure. I'll keep that in mind from Uncle Brian.
No nightmares. They'll be good.
That's an uncle's job, to come over and torture said kids.
Ruin
Hey
everything.
kid, you want a sip of my beer?
Get them all wound up and then go home and leave mom and dad to clean up the mess.
They have nightmares for the rest of their life from a show that Uncle Brian showed them.
Yeah.
No, I think it is kind of funny because there is maybe some of that to us that seems wild that you would not watch it immediately. But it's a genre, and it's part of a subgenre that people just take casually, maybe more than we do. So That's okay too.
Yeah. Well, to some people it's a subgenre. To us, it's a subculture.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
why
exactly.
we consume it immediately, and they're like, "Ooh, let me save this for when I have some time or whatever."
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Whatever it is, if you want to show your support for any of the Disney Plus shows, just leave it running in the background when you leave the house.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
It'll only
then-
go for so long, but it will.
It's like 2 episodes
yeah.
later. Are you still watching this? And it just
Wait,
Yeah.
does it do the
it'll-
Netflix thing?
Yeah. After a little
Yeah.
while.
after a while.
Oh,
Like
no,
if you don't click
no,
next
that's
episode,
I don't know. No,
because
it does.
because
All of
I
those
leave
Skeleton
Bluey
Crew
on for my
episodes.
kids all day.
Yeah, I feel like you might
They-
be able to get through the Skeleton Crew episodes at least.
Yeah, but if they're touching the controller at all, it's showing.
it keeps
active.
going. Yeah, if there's activity,
I know, like sometimes, like on a weekend when I'm like cleaning the house and running errands, like I'll like put on Winter Soldier or Guardians of the Galaxy or something, and then the TV will just be on, and then eventually like it'll stop.
Even during the movie?
Not
No, but-
during it, in between.
Oh,
Like
okay.
one show will end, and then oh boy, super chats are coming in hot.
Sheesh. Thanks, Nate. Holy tamale.
We got May.
May.
May, you can't
Guys.
do this every episode, May. Come
No.
on.
stop it, May. We love you, but stop
I mean,
sending us
yes.
your money.
We really
Ma-
appreciate it.
Merry Christmas. Wait, I can't do the accent. You gotta do
Merry
the accent.
Christmas, bad bad. Seriously though,
Hello, Merry
we love you, but
Christmas,
stop saying
friends.
it.
Nate.
Nate, thank
Now,
you.
Nate, on the other hand,
Nate, you're good. You can send a couple
thanks,
more
buddy.
times if you want.
Merry Christmas, my
But
man.
May, please
You
stop,
guys.
stop sending us your money.
Not
No,
every
don't
week.
say sorry. We really appreciate it, but
Yes.
we feel like like you've sent us so much already.
NATO Potato says, cheers to the Space Dads and Space Family for a great 2024 and looking to a wonderful 2025. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. Thanks so much, Nate. We appreciate
Thank you,
that.
Nate, and thank you,
Yeah.
May, as
Yeah,
well.
boy.
Thank you.
back to you,
May.
Remy.
Thank you, Nate.
That was actually my last article. So that is it for
Oh.
the news.
Oh,
Okay. Well,
Oh,
speaking
that
of
was
Skeleton Crew,
If you found a real Jedi temple, shouldn't we tell the supervisor or maybe our parents? Why do we have to dig it?
Because this could be a real adventure. No more pretend.
man, I could listen to that. Like,
yeah.
the whole, it's so good.
Mhm.
Quick thing on the subject of that song, right? Because obviously it's a real world song and it's spoken over in other languages. Rami, I think what was that rock and roll song that's gibberish, but it's supposed to be it's supposed to sound like a rock and roll song.
It's
you know,
that
it's like,
Italian
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
and what was that
Yeah.
from again? It was from something, right?
Well, it was we got onto it because it was in Ted Lasso.
It was in Ted Lasso. That was
Yeah,
it.
I think that's how we
Yes.
got it. But it was in one of the episodes.
Yes.
I can't pronounce the name. It's actually in one of the Spotify playlists that we've got. Which,
Okay.
by the way, reminder, there is a Dad Batch holiday Christmas playlist Spotify playlist. Like, go
yeah.
out there, check it out.
Right. Sorry, Stephen. Sorry.
Yeah. You may proceed.
You may post. We haven't heard that one in a while.
That's a good one. All right. This week's episode review is Skeleton Crew, season 1, episode 4. Can't say I remember no At Attin. Directed by Daniel Kwan and Daniel Schiernaert. Everyone just knows them as the Daniels because they directed Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, and they won an Oscar for this. They're Academy Award winners.
Ooh.
Directing Star Wars. This is crazy. Written by Christopher Ford and John Watts, with a Disney Plus description. Our heroes face a surprise in a familiar setting. Guys, this is where we finally see our heroes. They take the coordinates from the owl cat thing from the last episode, and they finally, surprisingly, make their way back home. But when they land on the planet, it's not exactly like home. It's
Kinda.
like it's a desolate like version of their planet, but very dystopian, and for a second there, I was like, okay, is this a time travel show now?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, like, what's Star Wars trying to do here? But
Yeah.
it quickly changed. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on how this show went and just what you thought about it. John, let's start with you.
Okay. I at first thought the same thing you just mentioned. I thought there was some sort of time travel element going on, because it's like, oh, everything's in ruins. It's the same place. It's like, this is my house, but everything's destroyed. Oh my god, da, da, da. No one's around. Where is everyone? And then we find out that they're not on At Attin. They're on At Akron, right? Or
Tough
Arkin,
Acton to Akron.
Akron, Ohio.
Akron. Arkin. Tough Arkin to Arkin. But which turns out to be one of those planets that did not survive at Attin. It's one of the other 5, I guess, that were destroyed or are in ruin, as we see people live in like constant war. But it's like 2 tribes, I guess. Like, it's just like one family. It's like the that old
I couldn't figure that part out.
The Hatfields and the whatever. It's
McCoys?
like, yeah, it's like the McCoys and the Hatfields. It's like, no, you crossed my line. No, you crossed my line. Like, it feels kind of something like that. Obviously, it's not, but and I feel like in general it was fun. It was a fun episode. I think it took Smee and Jod a while to come out, but that was kind of the point. Like, the kids had to get deep in trouble and deep mixed into whatever, and then somehow he comes around and
dude, the interaction between Smee and Jod in this episode, he's like, enable babysitting mode.
Yeah, that was
he was
hilarious.
Come here, baby.
Yeah,
come here, baby.
Come on, baby.
When he was at the launch ramp and he's like, "Don't make me start counting."
Yeah, he's literally treating him like a baby.
That was
that was cool. Yeah, the droid's super funny. And the whole show is very kid funny. The laughs are for kids, but you can appreciate them because they're still pretty clever.
Yeah.
But as Brian would say, I feel like this episode might have just been a little bit of a filler, like kind of just a time holder, a placeholder, because they're still moving forward. They get through everything, and they're obviously still looking for their own planet. But it's a great. I mean, I don't imagine we'll be hopping to every other planet before we get to At Attin, like all the other ruined planets or whatever. I don't think we'll be doing that, but it was cool to see, a version of what they were talking about, because that's probably a legend as well.
Allegedly.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Oh, that's me.
That's me.
I liked the show. I wasn't as entertained as the previous ones, but I understood they were building on the story. The interaction, like you said, yeah, come here, baby. That was like probably like one of my favorite parts of it. It was really cool seeing, what are those creatures called again?
Eopies.
The Eopies or whatever.
Dude, okay, so when I saw those Eopies, I was like, dude, that's straight up, that's Tatooine.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, what is the group? The Hatton, whatever. They had tanks they looked like they were from like Naboo.
Yeah. They looked like the separatist tanks.
Which Eopies were in the prequels, right?
Yeah.
Those,
and they were in Obi-Wan Kenobi. He rode one.
Yeah. He rode one there. Yeah. So I definitely, the whole like dueling faction thing, I don't know. I kind of felt like that whole thing was like a nod to, I guess, what's happening in the world right now of like, we need world peace. Like, I kind of like, I looked at it as that. I have a feeling like that's it. We're not going to know anything more about that story. I was trying to figure out the leader and, what significance that had. I was looking for Easter eggs the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, what in here is something that's a callback to some land of Star Wars, so I was kind of lost in that and not really like paying attention, because it was very I mean, this was I'm so bad with the names. The purple elephant kid.
Neil?
And he's
Neil.
blue.
Neil.
He's
This
baby,
was like
he's baby blue. He's about
this
as far
was
away
like
from purple as you can get.
Yeah, this was like mostly Neil's episode to be cute and adorable, which is what he is.
We're learning you're colorblind also.
He's
getting old.
I mean, I honestly, every time I look at him, I just keep trying to see his mouth move because I'm like, wow, that's really cool. They have his mouth moving.
To be fair, you're usually watching him in the dark while you're driving. So
that too. No, I did watch it last night while I was at home. But that was cool. And then the little interaction with the names. I don't know any of the kids' names of the kids. The curly haired kid and the girl. Yeah, like that little interaction they had where she got all upset and he's like, "No, you're awesome. I really like you," which is probably what was going to come next. But it's a kid show. That's what they do. So, Jude Law's character. The names, I'm so bad. Do I even start?
John. Let's take a swing at it.
He was hilarious through this whole episode. I found him super comical, and then him hearing about a treasure, and now his ears are like really perked up. So I think the next episode, more is going to come out of it. But I still love the show. The show's great. I didn't dislike this episode at all. Don't let me off as I disliked it. It was just
it wasn't bad.
It wasn't as engaging as the other ones were for me. So, but I love the droids. I just love all the interactions. So it's so cool. Come here, baby.
I find myself wanting more of Jod though.
Yeah.
Like I know that it's about the kids and we're following the kids around, but like I feel like and like the kids keep finding themselves in situations where they need him to get out of trouble. Like find me one time where they've been in trouble and he wasn't the one that ultimately rescued them.
In which I don't quite still understand the story of how he came across all those people. And then he was just like, "Oh,
yeah, something happened there.
I talked my way out of it."
And
he probably killed them all.
He bought them with the credits. You mean to tell me that on this apocalyptic, war-torn place that those credits mean anything to those people?
100%.
Like something
100%.
happened.
Yeah.
Something else happened. Went down
Him
there,
and
and
the
we haven't
droid.
seen the whole story. Yeah, I think they went all like.
Oh, wait a
They went to
second.
work.
Did when they were coming down the ramp and Smee was talking about how he had been there before and he had like taken out all those soldiers. What if Jod saw this happen and Smee just went in full battle mode and then just like murked all those dudes?
I think
there they are.
something else happened there, and we just haven't seen it. Like maybe there's going to be a flashback, or I don't know. Who knows?
Because he was learning how to manipulate him. So the droid.
Did they leave the planet at the end? I didn't.
No, I don't think so. We've only seen because it ended with them up in the tower.
Yep.
When the
Finding
droid
coordinates.
basically they disabled they found the other planets or like the references to the other planets and that's it. So now we know that there's a bunch of other planets that all have almost the exact same name and they're all basically hidden. We know that Smee is the one that hid this one.
Right. He took the coordinates out.
Yep.
And when they overrode his directive to forget this one, he's like going crazy trying to even
No. It said if anyone asks about it, he should like attack them or something. Like forget about it, and if anyone asks, go into crazy mode or whatever.
And so then he went into crazy mode and
raises up.
And so Jod had to yet again save the
K2.
kids. So
he got in like K2SO mode.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I still find myself wanting to see more because I mean, Jod was there a little bit in the beginning and then not at all in the middle. And then he was there at the end again. I would like to see a little bit more development for him. Hopefully that they change that. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'll just add my favorite thing from the episode because you guys all nailed. I'm very in unison with everything you said. But when the kids are getting kind of handed back to Jod from that group, and he's like, "Are you sure? Just the kids?" You would rather not have these
You
hides?
don't want the hides? Yeah.
He's like, how
Yeah.
many hides?
That was
No,
pretty
no, I'm just
funny.
kidding.
Dad joke. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, what? It just
Teasball.
it's a good relationship with them, and it's cool to see him, panning out to come back for them and stuff. It's just lighthearted and fun, even though like you guys said, I mean, it did feel kind of bit of a filler episode, but there's enough eye candy there. There's all kinds of cool costumes and props to look at. I think it'll be a good episode to go back and kind of study some of that stuff, which is part of why we all like Star Wars anyway.
Yeah, there was like mud trooper helmets.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah,
weird
lots of
stuff. The
And there were
helmet
like
the girl
Rebel
had
Rogue
on
One
was
looking
cool.
kind of helmets too.
Yeah, totally.
The little French girl kind of had like a Rogue One style Rebel helmet. So
Dude, she was like ninja all over the place, like sliding and flipping and like even like at unnecessary times.
Yeah, I saw a video of that. It was like
she slides and then just stands up and she's like, all right, I can save you guys. It's
I
like
saw a video where a guy was like, "Why?"
That was like doing like a
They
BMX bike
say-
skid in front of your homies just to show off.
Like she says bye to Neil and then she just like does that crazy
Did that
thing
look
and-
cool? Was that cool?
Yeah, that was showing off. That was showing off for the youngins, dude. That was sick.
Yeah, that's funny.
Just to so Luke was touching on a few of the things that I wanted to talk about, but that part I took a lot of notes here, but that part when Jod's picking up the kids at the end, and even up until this point, Jod is still a character that we can't really trust, but we have to because he's with dude. When the kids go up to him and hug him,
Yeah.
it was so endearing. Like that moment, like the director, like the kids didn't have to do that.
Mhm.
The director was like, okay, go hug him. Like that's a choice. And I don't know, I felt like a certain way when that happened. Like I was like, okay, this guy, he might turn on them or whatever, but I think
He's parental.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Go ahead, John.
Oh, sorry. I don't.
No, go
That's the first time you see them like fully embrace him too, because they've been even
Yeah.
Fern. She was skeptical the whole time, and all of them were kind of like, okay, you know, no adults, get out, or like everything was very,
Yeah.
it's us against you, or you work for us, whatever. And then all of a sudden they're just like, oh my god, thank you,
But
big
Fern
hug.
was like, "You came back?" She was like
Yeah,
really
she was
surprised and
perplexed.
shocked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Impressed.
So another character, so Hana, we were talking about the girl Hana, the leader of the Toik. The Toik.
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 The Toik.
The Troik? No, the Toik. Hana is played by actress Hala Finley, who I know you guys wouldn't know this because none of you saw Venom 3 yet.
No.
But she's in that movie. And the accent that she has in Skeleton Crew is completely made up.
Oh wow.
So
Nice work.
yeah,
So
she's
she's an actress.
Yeah.
she's good. Yeah.
Cool.
And yeah, those flips, dude, those flips that she was doing,
That's her.
I hurt my brain like rolling my eyes back so hard on that. But then I look over at my 7-year-old and he's like enamored.
It's a kid's
by it.
show.
Yeah.
It's a kid's show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Totally.
I was like, okay, that makes up for it. I think this is the most lame thing ever that she's doing this
But,
for
like,
no
yeah,
reason.
The love interest
but-
of the nerdiest one is
Yes.
happens to
Yeah.
be
And then-
an awesome.
Dude,
Big
and then
contrast
when
to him. Yeah.
when Hala
yeah.
when Hala
And she likes him.
kisses when she kisses Neil,
Yeah.
my youngest one, who's gonna be 5 tomorrow, he like literally shouts out, "Oh, I knew it!" As soon as they kiss, I was like, "Oh my god!" We were like cracking up. It was so funny.
That's so funny.
That's funny.
So
That's so great.
a couple of things that I wanted to talk about the planet. So at Akron, at Attin, no, at Akron.
I don't recall. No,
I think all the planets are just like their online names, like at Left Coast Avenger, at Pabu Frick, at Attin.
gosh.
Anyway, no.
At
So
dot,
I think
at dot.
that so on top of the school they had that giant like cannon.
Yeah.
I bet you there's one on at Attin and nobody knows about it.
Oh, 100%. Because everything was
like,
the same,
That's
It's
a
gonna
good
be
call.
like,
Yeah.
check this out.
So these planets, there's 8 planets. I'm like, my theory, this is just I don't have any like inside info or anything on this, but it's just my theory. I think it's almost like Lost, where like Dharma had the Dharma Initiative had like different stations, and so like I think that these planets were all destroyed because I think at Attin, I think that was like the economy planet or something. Like that's where like all the currency was held, right? It's like their bank planet.
Mm-hmm.
And probably one of the pirates found that out, and because like look at all the people that are on in school, they're all like growing up to be like accountants,
analysts.
yeah, exactly. So I don't know, that's just my theory. Maybe
for the great work.
yeah, maybe Akron was like the police planet or the protection planet or something, where they just had a bunch of weapons.
Military planet.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
I don't know.
Oh,
That's
good theory.
that's my theory. And I had a theory about the great work. I don't know how, but I think that somehow because this show is happening in the time of the Mandalorian, like think about what we're seeing in the Mandoverse right now. It's all about like the forming of the First Order, the cloning projects with Palpatine, like all that stuff, right? How is this show going to tie in to the Mandoverse? Like, I know they want to keep it like a separate thing, like just have Skeleton Crew be its own thing,
its own timeline,
but it's got to tie in somehow. And so I'm thinking that maybe the great work or these planets or something, maybe it was something Sidious was doing, or maybe before Sidious. What I'm trying to get at is that I don't think that these 8 planets, whatever experiment that they're part of,
They were there for a reason.
I don't think that it was benevolent reasons. I think that it had to have come from like I said, some dark side or malicious intent,
malevolent force.
Yeah. For all we know, the great work could be the cloning program, like or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I want to talk about is I loved how this episode was so slow. And that might sound stupid, and that might sound like, a little reverse thinking, but in a show where we get just so many like candy corn popcorn moments every week, this to me was pure Filoni as a producer saying, you need to have an episode in there that everyone's going to call filler, but it's going to be one of those episodes that has so much character development for Neil, who I think is going to be a huge main character, like by the end of the show. He did. And he influenced, he influenced an entire like movement with this, with that girl, right?
He's like, I don't think I should do this, but I guess I'm going to because oh my god, I'm super scared.
Yeah. And that is like 100% a total Filoni move.
Yeah, let the material breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think this whole like 8 planets thing is? Do you guys have any other interesting theories maybe?
I didn't think I figured they were all tied in, right? Because they all have the same name. But you saying like what the purpose of each planet was kind of makes sense.
But that's a theory. That's not true necessarily.
No, for sure. But it I mean, it makes sense.
It was also like the previous episode where the kind of owl lady Kim, when they were talking about At Attin, she said something about Alderaan, and they were like, "Oh yeah," and she was like, "Oh wow, you don't know about that." She kind of alluded to like they didn't hear about
the war,
Alderaan and the war and everything. So
there's a war.
Yeah, so I mean, if they were that detached from that, like the great work theory, I mean, would that have been in play before the Galactic Empire? You know what I mean? Like, or would that be something that was set up after? Because
It
how
would
would
have
they
to been
reference that,
before.
or why would they reference that?
When did
as
when
a
did
bookmark for where they're at in their universe?
when did fake what's his name that got the cloning done? Jedi Sifo-Dyas. When did fake Sifo-Dyas request the clones be made? Because that was Palpatine, right?
Fake Sifo. Well, wasn't that like Attack of the Clones, right?
Well, that's when they had mentioned it, but the clone army
so
had
it was
already.
well before that. Yeah.
Had it been around episode 1, maybe, or pre-episode 1.
So, okay, so pre-episode 1. So maybe the great work started before episode 1, because it could have been Palps. He was already a senator.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess it still could be him.
It was
But
yeah.
8 worlds.
Palp Daddy.
It was if the Plagueis book is at all accurate canon wise, right? Like, which it's not, but
Take us to church.
It would be
Raimi.
pretty relatively close after relatively close after the Phantom Menace, but not by much.
So, and that was 10 years prior to Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, it'd be like immediately after the Phantom Menace. Because like the results of the Phantom Menace, like the things that happen at the very end of the Phantom Menace are what cause some of the Jedi to be convinced that things need to change, like Sifo-Dyas and Dooku, and that's what prompts them to fall away.
That's 60. That's about 54 to like 60 years, right? No. How many years before the Death Star BBY is Phantom Menace? It's like 30, 35?
Give or take, yeah.
Sounds good.
That's enough time to, I think, set up a
8
project
planets.
for eight planets, yeah?
35 years, so like a generation, I guess.
Yeah, that is interesting. Good theory, dude. Wow,
it's a good question.
Broke my brain.
I mean,
I can't
I'm
remember
just
the
glad
names.
it wasn't time travel or something. That was like at Attin, and it was like. in the
Oh,
future
thank
or something.
goodness.
It's like,
Thank
God,
goodness.
we
Yeah,
missed a
my
laser
God.
bolt for sure on that.
Yeah.
Dude, when they landed on the planet and then they were like in that like desolate park, like neighborhood park,
Yeah.
and then there was that like little, I don't know what they're called, like the merry-go-round or whatever.
Yeah, carousel.
I told my wife, I looked over, I was like, oh my God, they're on Earth.
They're here.
Oh, that's also a bullet we dodged.
Yeah, that'd be terrible.
Yeah, dude, we only have, I think we're halfway through the season. Next week is episode 5.
Nice.
And then the week, what is that? Next week is episode 5 for Christmas. And then on New Year's, we're going to get the episode directed by Bryce Dallas Howard.
Oh, yeah.
That is going to be choice.
Let's see it.
Nice.
So choice.
In the chat, they're talking about how the kids, like, because of how long ago they filmed it, and like how the kids look older now and everything, and it was meant to be one season and everything. That said, I do know that the showrunners have already talked about, like, if they were to do another season, they've already thought of like how they would bring the kids back and intentionally incorporate their age into the next
They could
season.
say like
they've
2 years
already
later
got
or something.
yeah, they've already got an idea for what they would do to incorporate the kids having aged appropriately for their real life age.
Like they finish school and then
Yeah.
boom,
Yeah,
3 years
they've-
later.
They've already
Whoa.
figured. They've already thought that through.
It's
I
not like
I saw an article about it a few weeks ago. They've talked about it.
Dude, I love
Good.
that. I want to see a grown-up Neil.
Yeah.
He's Max Rebo.
Honestly, I want to see like 3,
He's just a
4,
legend.
maybe 5 seasons of this show, just following these kids like as they grow up. Like
It's
I
like
I
the
love
Wonder
it.
Years,
Things.
but
Stranger Things.
years.
Well, like Stranger Things, but not staying in high school. Like
Yeah.
actually following
Yeah.
them into like adulthood.
Yeah, well, and they pointed out Stranger Things as being like the problem that they don't want to have with this
Yeah.
because Stranger Things, like the seasons are like supposed to be basically like back to back or at least a year apart or
They're
whatever.
like
and yet
35.
the kids
in
are
high
like
school.
aging massively between seasons, and it's just not realistic.
Grogu Adventure is saying in the chat that teenage Neil is gonna part his hair on the opposite side. Forget that. I want to see teenage emo Neil where he like pulls his hair down.
That's what I said earlier. He's gonna have
yeah
the bangs and like lip rings.
It's you know what? It's a good show, and
yeah,
I'm happy that
it's fun.
It's like Brian said last week. Star Wars just feels like, not that it was ever gone, but it feels like it's back.
Yeah.
So.
Great job, everyone.
I want to clean my gun and be alone with my thoughts. And I don't need to talk about anything else.
Please don't talk about deer. Please don't talk about deer. Please don't talk about deer. Oh, we're back.
Like, I made jerky.
Why though?
It's
Just
the
kidding. I
last.
want to hear about it.
It's the last Conversations with Crosshair for 2024.
See you next year.
How you doing, Brian?
So let me tell you, I made some beautiful deer jerky. It's really good. We didn't do workbench, dude. I was like ready today too.
Yeah. Steven's trying to hustle through it.
I'm gonna do it for John. I'm gonna do this for John.
Yeah, Brad.
John convinced me to print a Warhammer figure for those watching on the YouTube.
But you upscaled it, so it's like a 6-inch figure, right?
I used to paint these guys when they were lead, little figures, when I was just a wee lad. So John doing all these sparked my interest after watching Secret Level 2. Secret Level.
Oh,
hey.
What's up, dude? Bud. What you doing?
Today I exploded my TNT tower.
Oh my goodness!
What?
Your TNT
Xander's
tower?
in the house. Xander's in the house.
Say goodbye.
Yeah.
Bye.
So I'm painting. Bye. See you, buddy.
Bye, bud.
So yeah.
What a sweetheart.
Hey, Brian, I'm curious, that little minifigure that you had there.
Mm-hmm.
Does the helmet come off, or is it like?
I have not glued it in yet.
Don't glue it in.
Why?
I'm gonna send you the 3D file of my head, and you can put my face there.
Oh hell yeah!
Just do magnets. You can swap them out.
I'm gonna put a magnet in there and make it swappable. Yeah. Dude,
that's so funny.
Dude,
do that.
That's a solid idea. Hey, do it. You have to cut the neck off. It literally just has to be the head. No neck. Like, because you're like your head is like sunk, your neck is like sunk down in there.
It's this
Steven's just a Terminator.
Awesome.
An assault Terminator.
But man, yeah, I've been real busy. It's been crazy. I counted up that over the past 6 weeks I've driven over 6,000 miles for work. So it's been nuts. And shout out to my daughter Levi for getting a 3.8 grade average in her first semester of college.
That's like 1B in all A's, right?
Great job, kiddo. Yep. They don't listen to this, but I get
good job, Levi. Show her this part. Yeah. Who does?
That's it. And my deer jerky is delicious. I've done a couple test runs, and I'm gonna send it to the boys, except for Luke because he's talking crap.
Come
yeah,
on, man.
Screw you, Luke. No jerky for you.
Oh, please.
We're all eating your portion.
Well, I'm never gonna stop making fun of you, so I guess no jerky for me.
Please don't. Never do.
I decided that I'm not gonna send you my meat packer.
Good.
Because
that's probably for the better.
Personally, what?
Yeah. Just send me the jerky. It's fine.
Jerky for everybody.
Well, gentlemen, I think that's gonna do it for us today. If you enjoyed listening, feed that algorithm and have a 5-star review. Leave a 5-star review on that podcast app. Be sure to include that cake emoji. Yes, have some. Leave that cake emoji on your podcast app just for John.
Layers.
You can follow me at Stevie.Kicks on Instagram, sometimes on X. Gentlemen, it has been a pleasure podding with you in 2024. We've done a lot of stuff this year, a lot of crazy stuff. But next year
we'll be back.
Yeah, next year, like we always say, is going to be bigger and better. Oh my goodness, the stuff we have planned for next year is insane. We're already fully booked up until next October. It's
what?
nuts. There's a lot. There's a lot coming.
Oh, okay.
Gentlemen, let the listeners know where they can find you. Brian?
At sithin.ain't.easy.
And John?
You can find me at John Rodriguez FX on Instagram.
And
everywhere
Rainey?
else is still the same.
Happy holidays, everybody. And you can find me at thedadbatch.com.
And Luke?
Left Coast Avenger. Haps Halls, everybody.
Thank you
That
again,
was
everybody,
good,
for
guys.
listening to episode 118 of the Dad Batch podcast. Be sure to tune in next week for episode 119. And until next time, enjoy your spice responsibly.